Yo, yo, happy Friday. Polkadot party participants. Welcome back to your Friday Polkadot party. I hope that everybody's having a good week, staying sane out there. I know things are really popping off with everything going on in the crypto market. So shout out to you if you're still hanging around and being, vigilant, looking for opportunities and acting with conviction. Still hanging around and go ahead and mute this and open up the chat, see what's going on. Let's go ahead and switch to a different account. So yeah, today we're going to talk about ASTAR network. ASTAR network is another DeFi play on the Polkadot network. So I figured that for today's video, what we could do is actually go through the research process together. So rather than me just spit out exactly what I think that you should know, people gather some benefit from being able to see what it's like to walk through researching the stakeholders, the tokenomics, and actually using the platform for the first time. So with that in mind, I'll go ahead and share screens and then let's get started. Move this over here. Okay, so actually, I actually want to start today with some big news in the world of Polkadot. So y'all know in our past episodes, we've talked about some of the bigger blue chip Polkadot projects like Moonbeam and Akala. And wouldn't you know, this past week, I actually tuned into their webinar. Akala has officially launched their AUSD product, which is their stablecoin. It's meant to power the entire Polkadot system. Yeah. And sort of be the blue chip stablecoin of Polkadot specific DeFi. Now, what I really find interesting is that with that launch, which we'll get into in particular a little bit later, we've seen an acceleration in not just adoption, but different projects beginning to work together. I think that this behavior is going to be key. It's going to be essential for the long-term success of the Polkadot ecosystem. And so here's a headline that just came out yesterday. So first Polkadot cross-chain connection launched between Moonbeam and Akala using the XCM, cross-chain messaging. What up, what up, what up? Happy Friday to the chat. If you want to hear more about various Polkadot ecosystem updates, as well as pragmatic points of view on everything going on from crypto to just the macro economy, where I'm sort of formally educated, feel free to give me a follow at Mike__Sadler on Twitter. So basically what we have here is, so y'all remember that Akala has various collateral options for which you can use to mint stablecoins, mint stablecoins in the Akala network. I know I didn't hop off my account, so man, keep doxing. Oh, nice. Set the AUSD. Love y'all, but to the degree that I can minimize time in which my own personal account details are up here, the better. Okay, so in terms of minting AUSD, it was that you only had to choose from AUSD, Akala, Liquid Crowd Loan dot LC dot, Liquid dot L dot dot, and now there's one new option, the Glimmer token of Moonbeam Network. This is hot off the press, is less than 24 hours old. Basically what you can do is connect your wallet. By the way, you must hold your Moonbeam assets in one of these wallets. Maybe next week we'll run through testing out these wallets. Because if you've been in the crypto game for a little while, you'll know that using these products is how you get free airdrops. And so if you could, at a full-time basis, just test out everybody's protocol with various different, let's say, unconnected email addresses, you may be in a good position to, potentially subsist in a bull market off of these airdrops alone. So maybe we'll test these out next time. But I digress. You need to hold your Glimmer token in one of these wallets in order to connect it with Akala, because unfortunately, for whatever reason, they do not support MetaMask just yet. I assume that will happen, but yeah, Glimmer is now a new asset opportunity to use for minting AUSD. So maybe you want to hold your Glimmer here, get AUSD, and then maybe you want to, I believe they have, AUSD stake pools. That's an option for you. Hopefully it'll load quickly. Let's see, is there anything I can get rid of? While this is loading, I want to share, I hopped on Ancestry.com for the first time this past week and traced my roots back to 1836, which is the last generation that you'd be able to access before the Civil War, when marriage sort of became a thing for Black people. So pretty interesting to see my third, fourth great grandfather and his massive family. That's what I'll say. So yeah, unfortunately, this is not loading. Okay, maybe I just needed to connect my wallet. Shout out to Ancestry, definitely check that out if you're Black and trying to figure out where you came from. Yo, Vinny. How about you, dog? Okay, well, I don't know. This is taking too long, unfortunately. Anyway, so you can now use your Glimmer token to mint AUSD. You can then use that AUSD and like AUSD Akala pool. Boom, finally. Or they have AUSD liquid crowd loan dot, as well as liquid dot pools, which offering pretty solid APRs in this sort of day and age when we've kind of been in a bit of a bear market. We're having a little bit of a bull bounce right now, but who's to tell if that's going to actually continue? Stable coins become, desirable. So yeah, you actually earn AUSD this way. Other things that came out, I'm not gonna wait for this website because honestly it's taking way too long this morning. Okay, cool. Like they have as well single side staking opportunities here. So you could throw your call in here. In fact, maybe I will. as well as your liquid dot, which you can get from other staking mechanisms within this ecosystem. So I just thought that that was a big piece of news I want to go ahead and share. Good times. You can now use Glimmer as within the Akala ecosystem. So I love to see that these teams are looking to work together and maximize all types of synergies rather than working against one another. Whenever one crypto project wins or fails, we all within the crypto community win or fail. So just keep that in mind. I know a lot of people were piling on Luna this week for not necessarily crushing it. But when Luna loses, we all kind of do, right? So is what it is. Okay, let's go ahead and hop into the research process for ASTAR network. So normally when I start my research, I'll start here on Polkadot. The reason for that is because I want to know what their market cap is. I want to know what their circulating supply is vis-a-vis their total supply. I want to know how much is being traded on a 24-hour basis so that I know enough this is like a legitimate project that's, has some bit of traction, or if it's not, right? So with that in mind, it does look like, down 83.5% off its all-time high, like many crypto projects are, but wow, coming off its all-time low in the last 24 hours. Now, if I believe in this, bear market bounce, then perhaps it's this to me indicating that, their all-time lows within the past 24 hours says it's a good time to buy. I don't really believe in this bear market bounce. Macro factors haven't really changed such that there's still war in Russia and Ukraine. There's still going to be between the EU and the US global shifts of supply chain away from controversial countries towards supply chains that people can swallow easily, ones that are more palatable. So with that in mind, I mean, that's why I'm not super interested in this bounce, but it looks like it's starting to roll over already. But at least I know that there is a good amount of adoption. There's a good amount of volume in the last 24 hours. Go ahead and push this back by a year. Let's just max out. So yeah, looks like it came out second week, third week of January, debuted around 10 cents, let's say, and is now at an all-time low. So is this the project for you? So after this, I'll go ahead and open up some of these links, including their website, their white paper, their subscan. Some people like to open up their Medium. I find Twitter to have everything that Medium has and more. And then GitHub obviously shows how much developer activity there is there. Normally there is another link for like just ecosystem. I guess CoinGecko doesn't have it yet, but it's something that I would want to look at, see what other projects are compatible with it. So with that in mind, this live stream is still going. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm just frozen. That's cool. That's cool. So with that in mind, let's just have a look at their website. So WASM, interesting, plus EVM. I know EVM hub on Polkadot. Let's just see what this is. Okay, it's a binary instruction format, stack-based virtual machine. Okay, so it's just a EVM competitor that uses uses WebAssembly, I guess, format. It's multi-chain smart contract platform. Okay, so yeah, let's see. Interoperability, of course, this is always a theme within Polkadot. $1 billion blocked, 250 million bridged over from Ethereum, 500,000 members. Okay, okay. Pull up the app. So many people look at Polkadot like a competitor to Cosmos, so that ASTAR looks to be a gateway to other blockchains is not unique, but that I see this Cosmos linkage is very interesting. Supports low rollups, cool. dApps, of course, smart contract. Wow, this looks a lot like Akala. So with that in mind, I'm getting ready to open this up. Governance, staking, layer 2. Okay, 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 okay. So I didn't learn a whole lot other than they seem to be a Polkadot competitor. I have heard of, excuse me, Shiden. Looks to be the same thing, just on Kusama. So I'm just gonna assume that. Looks like many of this backers and whatnot are the same. Cool. I do like, of course, that there is MetaMask compatibility here. We were just talking about that. It does support Clover, which we've not gone over here on this channel yet, but we will. We are connected, so I don't have any ASTAR assets. I did not contribute to this. Let's go ahead and connect. Oh man, got my whole ass out there. So I have no assets. I don't like that it showed my entire wallet address there. Not great for screen share. Solid amount of value locked, of course. Much of this is crowd loan assets that are locked. Token price going down. Okay, well, it looks to me like the only thing that's really available here is dApp staking. So minimum staking amount is 500 ASTR, which is whatever 7% of 500 is. Oh, okay, so you have to you have to put up at least 35 bucks in order to use this staking dApp. So I have never heard of any of these. Like, I've literally never heard of any of these. In terms of staking, looks like it's pretty early for many of these, like less than 5K stakers on all of them except for ASTAR network itself. So yeah, I guess APR is 11.5%. I'm really not, for me, I think this is probably a little bit early to stake here. It's probably pretty risky, but I do know that there was a lot of hype around this project when it first came out. And look, I know that it's a bear market, so it's kind of hard to judge a book by its cover. But I don't like that there's so little activity yet. And you can kind of see, like, even in terms of crowd loan, at least by a parallel, that really it was Moonbeam and Akala that were neck and neck, the ones that generated the most amount of DOT. While ASTAR was the third project to win, I believe. Looks like maybe third or fourth. The total amount of participation is a lot less. than some of the other projects, which to me says this, given its physical similarities as well as similarities in functionality or whatever, that it's an Akala competitor. It looks, and that there were some people that were team Akala, there were some people that were team ASTAR. And so, yeah, obviously Akala is much more adopted. Akala also has their stablecoin out. They look to offer stablecoins, and they have other items that just came up in their community call this past week. But I'm interested to see what ASTAR has coming out. Let's see who the team is. Okay. There's usually like a team button somewhere. Let's go ahead and just check out what's going on in terms of jobs. The #1 total value lock smart contract hub for WASM, WebAssembly, ASM, WebAssembly, SM, and EVM on Polkadot. Okay, like that's a pretty specific category. Let's see what jobs. Ecosystem integration developer, product manager, WebAssembly engineer, developer. Okay. I didn't even know that WebAssembly had its own sort of virtual machine. But okay, here we go. I found founder, and I don't know who these people are. Okay, global ecosystem growth, partnerships, anything in regards to funding. Okay, so we have 2 Series A press releases. That's interesting. It does look like they've been funded from names we know: Crypto.com, Alameda, that's Sam Bankman-Fried, Polychain, heard of them, Alchemy, don't know, but OKX, okay, Binance, okay. So that they have some of these partnerships is very important. I think we've seen some important stuff from Binance this past week, trying to save or advise the Luna Foundation or LFG Foundation, whatever, on steps that they could take to save the Luna blockchain. I did see CZ got out there this morning and said, hey, look, you printed all this Luna. Obviously, that inflated away everybody's holdings. Inflation is a huge theme these days, and people don't like it. Who knew? So, given that fact, he advised the Luna team to take a chill pill and burn a bunch of that additionally printed Luna. They didn't do that. He said that they didn't really get much of a response, but that, and he also said that they had volunteered to help with funding for whatever their operations were going to be. They said, hey, look, we helped out Axie Infinity, who had the same sort of issue, who they're also invested in, and said that they, from the Luna team didn't get much of a response. So that we know Binance is really, kind of that hand in the shadows, helping people out, I think is important. So seeing them as an investor makes me more confident in this project. Don't get me wrong, I was already confident because they were, they won that first round of crowd loans and, have raised $35 million, location Earth, funny. So yeah, but I'm more confident now that I see Binance as one of the investors, so very cool. Soto Watanabe, I've heard of that name. Let's just check them out on LinkedIn really quick. Shalom, shalom, Rodney, what up? Happy Friday to you. Second. Okay. Okay. So yeah, not a lot of activity, so he's not sharing a whole lot. But he is listed here as a permanent employer. Of course, he's also the founder of a VC in Singapore. Singapore got that bread, y'all. I don't know if you looked up Singapore on Google Maps. It's extremely small. But if you look at the average household income and net worth, it's one of the highest in the world. So very interesting. Maybe came from Japan, blah, 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 blah. Went to Berkeley, blockchain accelerator, or at least participate in their accelerator. I'm pretty sure you have to be part of Berkeley to join. I could be wrong. Okay, background in banking, at least as an intern. So yeah, I mean, not a lot on here in terms of like graduate education. Although having a major in economics is interesting, understanding deeply how supply and demand work is incredibly useful. And there's not a whole lot of applications for that at the undergraduate level, I'll say. If you become like a graduate in economics, get your master's, get your PhD even, you can have a significant voice and amount of influence in the cryptocurrency market. But, at the bachelor's level, while I'm interested and I understand that he probably understands things thoroughly, and we are all getting a master class in economics these days, I would have liked to see, perhaps more education there. I don't know how undergraduate colleges work in Japan or Singapore, but 6 years, interesting. And 2020 is only like 2 years ago. So young person, and look, that's fine. Nothing against young people, but I definitely, I know Do Kwon was also very young, so I definitely want to know what they've been doing since then to develop themselves as a subject matter expert, a SME, as they say. So, anywho, see, can you please find the token release schedule for ASTAR? Yeah, let's see if we can find that. Let's see, token release schedule. ASTAR network. By the way, guys, I mean, my personal background, I guess outside of business and economics and consulting, is largely marketing and SEO. And what a lot of people that don't know about the search engine of Google is that you can use these keyword match types to basically specify the criteria for which you want Google to return results to you. So this is all broad match, meaning that Google's AI can interpret it and come up with additional results that it thinks are relevant based off of what it knows. But putting the quotes around ASTAR network means that every single result must contain that. So let's see what we find. First thing here is ASTAR network token distribution details and roadmap. Nice. Landed it for the live stream. Let's hope that it is accurate. Final distribution ratio of crowd loan participants. One dot is okay. So it looks like a 22-month vesting schedule, 10% release on the launch, and they're vested linearly, so evenly over the duration of 22 months. I'll drop this in the chat. Find it useful. Yeah, this looks to be it. Roadmap. Let's take a quick peek at that. So I would say on the sort of team side of things, it seems to be pretty small. Let me see if I can pull him back up. Just double check my work there. I'll pull up his Twitter as well. So I want to know like how big the team is on ASTAR. I know that like a lot of these teams are pretty decentralized, so like not everybody's gonna put down like what their okay, 26 employees. Pretty cool. You know, I'll give them a follow. I'll follow Parallel. I'll follow Clover as well. We'll go over them at a future time. Let's see who else is in the C-suite. So, video marketing, blockchain dev. Okay, this person looks important. See if there's anybody else in here that looks important. Research and development engineer. Let's see, full-time for 2.5 years, okay. Alexander Krupenkin, Russia, seems like there's a lot going on. Some CTO experience. I mean, okay. Just take a quick peek at Hoon Kim. Seems to be that person's boss. Was at Paris Blockchain Week. Very cool. Who doesn't love a good sense of humor, right? No problem, C, no problem. So yeah, I mean, look, it's hard to really understand how deep their programming experience goes, but yeah, not a lot of adoption here. I feel like it might be a little bit early. You know, and if that's your risk tolerance, then you know for sure get in there. But let's just take a quick peek at the Twitter. Okay, nice. More adoption of the cross-chain messaging system. I'll follow Soda here. Plans for the next month. So sounds like they've got some things coming out in the next month. Just had a integration with Subwallet. ASTAR and Sheeden, their sister project on Kusama. Okay, so to me, it seems like they're still in the phase of trying to incentivize developers to come on. It's a little early, if you ask me. Adoption is still incoming. And again, you know, this information is just to inform you on the amount of risk involved with this project, seeing what my sort of research process looks like. And then you can, yeah, make your own decisions on whether or not this is too early for you or not. I mean, you know, it is quite early. It is a bear market as well. And with that information, is it worth $100 that you could potentially lose in full? Maybe. What's the upside of that? Might be worth it. So yeah, let's see. Quickly gonna pull up that roadmap. Time to build. This came out yesterday. I mentioned time to build, ecosystem development, 20 DeFi projects. Didn't see that on their website, but yeah, the #1 total value lock smart contract hub for those that support these two virtual machines. There's probably like less than 5 of those in total, so it's not really saying a whole lot. Yeah, so not a lot going on here, but I do like to see that. Okay, yeah, these are all the dApps that are working. You can see, like, in terms of total value locked, it's really only Starlife Finance and Arth Swap that have, you know, what is that, 6, 7, 8 digits worth of total value lock. do with that information what you will. But you know, the entire ecosystem is very new. So getting in now, I think, might be worth $100 if you have it. I would say with a time horizon of, let's just say the length of the lease, 2 years, 4 years, 2 years, 4 years. The length of the lease of their parachain, it could be worth more than it is today by magnitude. So that's sort of my analysis on ASTR, that they sort of look to be a DeFi NFT and DAO hub. Says that they have a lot of development to do, but I'm also interested in their Cosmos linkage. I think that they should probably play into that a bit. I think everything in the Polkadot ecosystem should be leaning heavily into the Cosmos linkage, but you know, we'll see. It is a bear market, but bear market is where, you know, is where things work, right? So it's where you can make, it's where it has the most amount of upside. So I hope that you see that as well. And let's just last take a look at where you could potentially acquire ASTR. So in terms of 24-hour volume, yeah, Binance, Gate.io. Has anybody here used Gate.io? I see them, it seems, on everybody's sort of markets list, and I've never used them before. Interesting. OKX, Binance again with their BUSD. Of course, we know Binance has investment in them, so that's not completely surprising. All of these USDT pairs, I know there's a lot of USDT FUD in the marketplace right now. We'll see whether or not it's warranted. I kind of don't think so, because I know that BlackRock and USDC are heavily in bed together, and I'm just appreciative that there's a second solid stable coin option in a world where solid stable coin options are few and far between. Anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap that up for the day. Welcome back to the thanks for joining the Polkadot party again this week. As always, do well, then do good. Make sure everything in your house is in order, and then look to take care of somebody else. Seek peace and stretch, I'll say. Gross. Make sure you stretch this week. And yeah, that's it. Have a blessed weekend. I know y'all blessed because you're here.